Hey guys, welcome back to Dude, We Can Fix It. What we're going to be doing today is doing a diagnostic for a failing wheel bearing. Every vehicle has wheel bearings. It doesn't matter what kind of vehicle it is. You have wheel bearings for all four wheels. So you got two in the front, two in the back. Now what you need to listen for is between 40 to 60 miles per hour. You'll hear a constant humming noise. And then when you slow down, sometimes you can hear it get louder, almost into a grinding noise or sort of a pulsating noise. We're going to go for a little drive around in the truck and we're going to listen for those noises. All right, so now we are getting on the road with the truck, and what we're going to listen for first, there's a sweet spot, 40 to 60 miles per hour. You will start to hear the bearing whine. It's like a nice low hum that will get louder and louder as you increase speed between 40 and 60 miles per hour. So here we are. Here is kind of whoa, 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 whoa. Now we're about to take a right-hand turn. We're going to listen to see if it gets quieter. We notice that when we turn right, the noise goes away. That usually indicates that the bearing that's going out is on the right-hand side of the vehicle. Now we're about to take a left-hand turn. We'll listen during this turn as well. The hum was still present during the left-hand turn, so that usually indicates that it's not on the left side. We're about to take another right-hand turn. The hum is gone. Now we're going to straighten out. We can hear that hum is back. All right, so we got the truck jacked up right here. We're going to go to each of the front wheels. We're going to check for play up and down and side to side. Let's come over here. All right, so we are at the front passenger tire. We're going to grab the front and the back of the tire. We're going to wiggle it side to side. We don't feel a whole lot of play there. Obviously, I can turn this because the front tires are up off the ground, and that is all play in the steering. So now we're going to grab the top and bottom of the tire, and we're going to look for play there. We're going to push and pull alternately. And there's no real play there either. So I'm thinking that this side's probably good. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this tire and I'm going to listen for any sort of whirring or grinding noise that is out of place. I can hear the brake pads slightly grinding the rotor, but other than that, this sounds pretty good. Let's go check out the other side. All right, we're going to do the same procedure on the driver's side. I'm gonna grab front and back, check for play. Actually, seems like a little bit. Obviously, once we go so far, we'll end up turning the entire steering rack. Now grab top and bottom, check for play. Once again, there's nothing perceptible there. So now we will spin the tire and listen. There's considerably more noise on this one. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the tire off and remove the brake caliper. That way I can rule out any noise coming from the brakes before I replace this wheel bearing. All right, we need to compress the brakes just a little bit so that we can get the caliper off of here. It is also held on with 2 bolts. So we'll take these off the back side. All right, so now we're going to remove our caliper, set it up out of the way. So now that we have the caliper out of the way, we're going to take off the caliper bracket, and that will allow us to take off the brake rotor, and then we can just isolate the wheel hub and bearing assembly for noise. These can be on there pretty tight sometimes. All right, now that we have the rotor off and we have the hub and bearing assembly isolated, now we can spin this and we know that we won't have any brake drag creating noise. and you can hear how terrible this sounds. I know you couldn't hear it so well before when we were driving around, but it should not sound like this. Now for reference, I'm going to go grab the new wheel bearing assembly and I'm going to spin it. Alright, so here is our new wheel bearing with the speed sensor attached. I'm going to spin this and we're going to listen. As you can hear, there's virtually no noise coming from that. And let's listen to the old one. So we have successfully diagnosed that this wheel bearing is in fact bad. So we're going to go ahead and just replace it with the new one. So that's how we diagnose a bad wheel bearing. First, we try to isolate it either front or rear and side to side by driving, and then we jack up the vehicle and we test each tire individually. If you have a car that doesn't have a rear differential, just has individual, wheel bearings, you can do the same thing. You can check for play, spin it, and if it's loud, you can isolate it down by taking off the brakes. If you have a truck, you can do the same things for your rear wheel bearings. Now you may need to put it in neutral and jack the entire rear end up off the ground. So I hope that you learned something with this. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and turn on your bell notifications for future videos. If you want to see how to change a wheel bearing, check out our next video.